Matthew in Canton submitted a question. Says, my real estate agent has flipped homes in the past, and it seems easy, but what mistakes might typically be made by first-time home flippers? I have some great information for you. Believe it or not, and this is from RIS Media in May, late May of 2023, they say there are 4 risks to what can be a profitable endeavor. The article says 10% of all U.S. houses sold in the first quarter of 2022, now I know that's a year ago, were flipped. That's a big number. 1 in 10 homes sold in the United States were flipped. My guess is that might be a little bit lower in 2023, but still it's probably, 8% or 7% or something like that. So agents and consumers should know the ins and outs of house flipping for themselves or for agents to educate clients thinking of flipping houses. The reality isn't as fun and as easy as it seems on TV shows. Here are the 4 mistakes to know and to avoid. So your first risk in terms of flipping a house is not calculating the finances properly. After paying for the house and fix-up cost, which those are even hard enough to estimate, there are still taxes and insurance and utilities and other bills that may pop up. I found the carrying cost for a flip, or what we called a rehab property, a repositioning property, I found the carrying cost to be quite significant. In some cases, they were the largest cost. Once you sell the property, for some of you, if you keep it longer than a year and your intention was to rent it long term, you may pay capital gains taxes. For others who are doing it, you'll be treated like a dealer, which means you'll be paying income tax as if you went out and earned that money at a job around the corner. So certainly these taxes will diminish your profit. So home flipper really needs to be extremely liquid and cash ready, and that is so true. Second downfall is not having the time. Flipping a house is very time sensitive. And organizing and hiring for people who will do the renovations, then overseeing everything certainly requires a ton of time. And I will tell you that it was not unusual for me to get overwhelmed in doing a rehab. The third potential issue is not having the patience. Unless it's a white-hot market with low mortgage rates, selling a house may take time. And certainly time is money due to having to cover the cost of the house before it sells. So you need to plan. Instead of maybe it taking 2 months to sell, it'll take 4. Instead of 3 months, it'll take 6 months to sell. I would give myself a cushion as I was working through the numbers to figure out whether or not the flip or the rehab project made sense. And then the last issue is not knowing the market. You're planning to resell a house shortly after buying it. It takes really a lot of courage. It takes a lot of guts. You're a speculator. And more importantly, someone buying to sell, must know that local market really as well as an experienced realtor. And certainly they can get that education with the help of an experienced realtor. But understanding what renovations to make, what the tax and zoning laws are, what the competition is, can determine really whether you make a big profit or take a substantial loss. House flipping really can be a tough business, no doubt. I told you at the beginning of the segment that I would give you a tip that would help you avoid losing money when you're flipping houses. And this tip is so important. And every time we lost money on a flip property or a rehab property, it was because we didn't pay attention to this rule. And that rule is, if you have to tell yourself a story about how the flip property makes sense, then you should not be buying the flip property. I'll give you an example. We bought a condo in Norcross, not too far from Oak Brook Parkway off of I-85, and it was a stepless condo. No steps into the condo, no steps inside the condo. We knew that this property was going to be amazing for someone who wanted a stepless property. Turns out at that time, me and my business partner were the only 2 people in Metro Atlanta who wanted a stepless property. So we had to tell ourselves a story on how the property would be worth more money than we thought it would be. And because of that, we missed the market. We totally missed the market.